Don't keep me waiting. Why are you in my room? Oh, hello there. I was just following the sweet aroma of pasta, and it ended up dragging me here, Meow said with a reluctant smile. The scent that you are looking for is in the kitchen. Just go straight ahead and you'll find it, Puss said. Do you have a name? Meow started to storm into the kitchen, excited to help himself like a pig, but he suddenly overheard the feline's question. Meow stopped himself from running off. Oh, my name is Nyanyamo, but you can call me Meow because that's my nickname and whatnot. How about you? He was wondering if he was actually a talking earth feline or some kind of alien like he was. The Beetlejuicean started to become curious. Puss stood up and approached him cautiously. He was quite curious about this creature, for he'd never seen him before. Puss in Boots, the ginger feline replied with a small smile. Pleasure to meet you. Meow started to smile. Pleasure to meet you as well, Puss. You don't mind if I call you that for short, do you? I gotta ask also, are you a talking feline? He said, tilting his head as they both stood there staring at each other. The alien had never seen a cat on Earth like this. He had seen them in ridiculous cheap cat clothing forced upon them by their owner, however, nothing like this. See, most people call me Puss. Indeed I am. My talking is natural, amigo. Puss paused for a moment, eyeing the other creature from head to toe. Tell me, where are you from? I haven't seen you around here before. Good to know. I didn't want to call you the wrong name. As far as where I'm from and all, I don't think you really would believe me if I told you honestly, but there you go. You see, I'm not exactly from wherever this place is. I'm actually a traveler from the stars. My homeworld is the Beetlejuice star specifically, he said, looking around the room. Puss frowned. He'd never heard of this Beetlejuice star. That must be very far away from here for sure, outside the kingdom, I assume, he thought to himself. So your home is a star? He asked, cocking his head. Yeah, I told you it'd be extremely hard to believe. I don't really think it's that far. Then again, I travel in a rocket ship with warp drive and such. I gotta ask, where is this place? It's a nice little castle. Do you live in this place? Meow asked the nicely dressed cat. I'm glad you like it, amigo. My friends live here. They let me stay in the castle if needed, Puss replied. That's a pretty sweet deal, man. Are your friends royalty? You look like a cat version of some kind of smooth royal guard. In fact, I should ask, what kind of kingdom is this? See, Arnie, a good friend of mine, is the one who rules the kingdom. My best friend's wife and him are cousins. The kingdom where you are right now is an island, filled with trees and mountains. My, you sure got it made here. Do you have any kind of special jobs around here? I mean, where I come from personally, I'm a navigator of a special spacecraft called the Aloha-O. In fact, how about we grab some of that smell from the kitchen? It's driving my nose up the wall with that aroma, he said, licking his lips. Suddenly, Meow had a realization in his head. Puss had just been calling him amigo all this time. Has he made a new friend, an ally on Earth? It would make sense, since they are both two feline-like creatures that talk and walk, as if they were personified in a fictional story. Special jobs? I'm not certain, Puss trailed off, scratching his head upon hearing the new word. He'd also never heard of this Aloha-O. Wait, is that a spacecraft, if you don't mind me asking? Giving him a nod, he started to make his way to the hall that leads to the kitchen. Of course, right this way, Puss said, beckoning for him to follow. Meow shrugged as he replied to his questions. Meow also followed his motion to venture with him into the kitchen. As the two felines walked down the regal hallways, they began to continue their discussions. Well, a spacecraft is kind of like a vehicle that travels from planet to planet and such. Aloha is just a name, really, if you were wondering. I see, I've never heard of it before, Puss admitted as he continued to lead. When he finally reached the kitchen, Puss opened the door and walked inside. The scent of the pasta and fish made him very hungry. Smells delicious. Really now? I haven't heard of a case of a person not knowing about space travel. Would you like me to introduce you to my beauty of a ship later on? Meow said as they continued to shoot back and forth in conversation. They seemed to learn more and more as they reached the kitchen. Meow stared into the equally regal-looking kitchen as he smelled some delectable pasta. Is that spaghetti and lasagna I smell? See, I admit I never have traveled to space. But I would like to see your ship that you're talking about, mi amigo. Indeed, Puss agreed, and went to the stove, opening the lid. I think this is ready. You may take a seat. He then took out 2 plates from the kitchen cabinet and put the pasta on each. Meow nodded to his newfound friend. All right, pal. You help me get my next meal here, and I'll introduce you to the beauty of the aloha-o. It seems like you know a lot about this food. It smells good, but I don't think I've ever tried it in my life, Meow said, taking a seat. Certainly, Puss nodded. When he was done, he set the plates and the cutlery both down on the table. The chefs serve the finest foods here. I sometimes sneak in here to get some salmon and fishes of any kind. He chuckled. I hope you enjoy. Meow smiled at Puss as he agreed with some excitement. So, are you the adventurous type? I'm not sure why, but I get that vibe from your uniform. If so, you'd probably fit right in with my crew, he says with a smile. Though we're pretty laid back most of the times. He watched as Puss served up the fish and pasta and sat across from him to partake in the feast. Ah, you sneak around this place? I guess us felines are pretty good at getting around without attention. The food looked very exotic, but still extremely delicious. Meow followed Puss's offer to dig in and eat the food. His eyes began to light up as Meow's taste buds hit the food. Oh my God, Puss, this is an amazing earth-prepared meal! I am indeed, Puss answered with a small smile. I don't mind facing dangers most of the time. I'm a sword fighter and also known hero of San Ricardo. The place, very far from here, is located in Spain. You are right. I am looking for another feast here that's going to happen in the kingdom. More meals are served here, so that's when I come and get a chance to eat other foods aside from this. Puss smiled, taking a bite of the fish. I'm glad you like it here, Meow. Let me know if you want more. The two started to chow down for about half an hour. They must have been pretty hungry since they both cleared the food all across the table. You are pretty lucky that you get to eat this all the time. The two felines clean off the table and kitchen in general. They want to make it seem like there's no way that they're even there. So, ready to head off on a little adventure to my personal ship? Once everything was done, Puss looked at him. Certainly, you may lead the way. Sure, although you might need to lead the way out of the castle. I didn't exactly memorize the directions and whatnot of the building, he said with a shrug. I'll lead the way after that. All right, I know a shortcut. Puss went towards the